host for today, and you're watching the fourth AMA of the DappDays, a big celebration of decentralized applications. During these first DappDays, we celebrate all kinds of gaming dapps every day. We started with Evergotchi, followed by Alien Worlds. Yesterday, we had Axie Infinity. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC, we're going to talk with WAG Studios about blockchain brawlers. But first, it's time to bring myths to life as the godlike titans and Olympians stare down upon us, walking around in a world filled of fantasy with centaurs and Vulcanites. Today, we're talking about VulcanVerse, and we're here with the wonderful team of VulcanForged. So, welcome, Jason McIver, the CMO of VulcanForged.
Hi there, how you doing?
Awesome. And Christina Seferakis, Managing Director at VulcanForged. How are you guys doing?
Hello, Robert. Nice to see you.
Yeah, doing great.
So it's awesome. It's awesome to have you guys here. So VulcanVerse has been quite a big name in the blockchain gaming space. You guys have been along for a long time. But can you tell us a bit about the original idea of VulcanVerse, and how much did that idea change over time, and where are you now in the process?
Well, the original idea to now is worlds apart. Okay, so like the original idea was such a simple metaverse. It just had some basic social elements to it, so people could communicate with one another. They were going to be able to build, but there was no kind of set theme to it. But being based in Greece and having the people that we have, it just kind of made sense to spin it into a Greco-Roman themed metaverse MMO, the one that we have today. So yeah, it was completely night and day from the original concept.
And if you would compare VulcanVerse with more traditional pay-to-play games, MMOs, which ones would you mention for those who are not in the know?
Well, because of what we're doing, we don't really like to compare ourselves to other games, because we're trying to be very unique in the space. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're trying to be, as unique as we can be. So if we're to compare, then, you could say that there's a mix of gameplay elements that are similar to Minecraft, World of Warcraft, and, your traditional big AAA MMOs, but we do have a long road ahead to get there. So,
big MMOs like World of Warcraft and Minecraft, of course, with the user-generated content. Especially World of Warcraft, it already has an in-game economy. Those who don't know, WoW is 15 years old, I guess, and they didn't have any crypto tokens, but they had in-game gold. People were actually selling in-game gold on black markets. How does I guess a game like VulcanVerse, being on the blockchain, will kind of tap into this ecosystem as well. So how does blockchain take this whole economy element to the next level?
Well, we provide a much more secure service because everything that people are earning and creating in game, if they were to be selling it on the black the black markets that exist in other traditional gaming spaces, there's always a high risk of getting scammed, losing everything you've got, et cetera, including getting your accounts banned if you're caught. So we provide marketplaces that are secure for both trading NFTs on the actual external marketplace, the VulcanForged marketplace, and also in-game when it comes to peer-to-peer material trading. So yeah, we try to provide them with a safe space to do all of that.
And so a safe space, of course, blockchain, everybody has their own private wallet. You provide a marketplace for trading. How do you see that as an empowering element for players? Some Steam, as an example, as a gaming platform, they refuse to incorporate NFTs and crypto because it damages the user. Microsoft or Minecraft, I have to say, Minecraft banned NFT projects because it's damaging for the user. So how do you I'm not going to say tackle that problem, because to us being Web3 natives, it's not a problem. But like, how do you work with that?
Well, all these companies that are trying to hold back on the innovation that comes with the NFT space is because they refuse to let go of their total control over markets, values, and all the rest of that. It's like in the Web3 space, if we've got an MMO that has players sinking a lot of time and effort into the game, they're earning tokens, they're earning NFTs, they're purchasing NFTs, they are crafting NFTs. That ownership is theirs. Like, so all that effort that they would be doing in a traditional game that would be based on Steam, or in the case of the ones that were banned from Microsoft, players that spend a lot of time and effort in those games, at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for it. So like the big difference between that and blockchain gaming is players own everything that they have. So their time is money, and time is valuable. So if they're sinking time and effort into a game, they should have some form of ownership of the assets from that game. So yeah, it's hindering progress. And Microsoft and Steam, one day they will eventually wake up. I've actually had calls recently with various projects that have been affected by it, and it is really sad. These are young teams that have gone all out to develop, and now they've got nothing. So it's quite sad to see, but first they laugh, and later they'll join us. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and so how close do you think we as an industry and VulcanVerse as a game is to that AAA quality that's often so praised by the games industry?
Well, I'd say now we're seeing it. We've got, our game started off very basic, and every visual update is bringing us closer and closer to that quality. We've recently this week. No, wait a second. What day is it today? Yes, it was this week. I'm forgetting what day. I don't even know where I am. We released a major visual update to VulcanVerse, and each visual update that we release is bringing us closer and closer to that that promised land of quality gaming.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, we have a trailer here to show. So I will open it. No! There it is. Awesome.
All right.
They look gorgeous.
Thank you.
So
we're actually very proud of how it's looking, because we really want to emphasize the fact that we want it to be attractive to our users, and just making it prettier just makes everybody want to play even more. So
Yeah. So what is it? What were we looking at for those who are not in the VulcanVerse community are new to this? What is it that we were looking at?
You want to take this, Christina?
sure. Well, basically, I don't know. Our whole game is based on Greco-Roman mythology and is divided in 4 quadrants. Though there is one city, Vulcan City, which is in the center of it all. And basically, you saw an aesthetic upgrade with Vulcan City. We've upgraded all the landmarks and everything, the modulars, the houses. So, basically, it's just an aesthetic upgrade, as well as redefining a lot of features that have to do with the water and a lot of other things that are within the game, like the Palace of the Dead in Hades. So basically, that's what it is. Just we're on a constant effort to make it more attractive to our users. And aside from the gamification, we want to make it even more attractive and beautiful.
Well, job well done. It looked gorgeous, and it really reminded me. Again, like I have fond memories of World of Warcraft, so sorry for the comparison. But when World of Warcraft launched a new area, they always had those, scenery cinematics, where you could see the new locales, the new locations, the new maybe new enemies or whatever nature, and it really reminded me of that. It really like. I can already imagine players running around in that area doing quests. And
well, thank you. We'll take that as a compliment then.
No, I mean, after it went live, there is nothing nicer to see than the community just spamming images and videos in Discord of, the visual updates, and getting these releases out there is fantastic, because it really makes the team feel good, and it makes the community feel good as well. It's just this constant strive to improve everything that we do at all times. Yep.
So that's awesome. So VulcanVerse being an MMO, being part of blockchain, you heavily tap into an ecosystem known as play to earn, an ecosystem where gaming is rewarded, and it's a new business model for the games industry. What do you think of this business model, and how do you guys embrace it?
Well, it's an interesting one, because when play to earn really started out, it was the timing of it was, as you know, pretty much just before the big crypto bull run that we've just experienced was beginning. So in that time, it was sustainable. People were making money. Players all over the world were making loads of money. It became a very lucrative business. But because of how the play to earn, the average play to earn model is designed, they are incredibly unsustainable in unfavorable markets. We've seen that happen to so many of the secondary tokens across different games. We had also, we were impacted as well by it. But our focus for the past, God knows how long, has actually been on creating and ensuring our economy is sustainable and scalable by implementing more and more deflationary elements into the ecosystem. So players, that are foraging and they're finding NFTs, or they're fishing, they're required to be using the lava that they are accruing through gameplay to interact with these objects. So it's like, you want something valuable, well, your lava in game is essentially as if you have your gold currency in any other MMO. It's just an in-game currency. So you're spending
a token, right?
Exactly. So the design of it is to be spent, as well as, obviously you can cash it out, and it does have that play to earn or play and earn. We are trying to pivot a lot of the games to more towards the play and earn models, because if the games are fun, people are going to play. And VulcanVerse, with everything that we have coming up for it, it is going to be more of a play and earn than a play to earn, because people are going to be more than happy to be sinking in the time and effort and all the rest of it into the game.
Yeah, personally, to me, like play and earn and play to earn is tomatoes, tomatoes. But I get the no the yeah the
Well,
marketing spin.
play to earn is much more, let's say, players go in to interact with a game that normally requires very little interaction
Yes,
and
exactly.
tend to be more of a farming experience.
Like the
So you're,
concept is only to earn, whereas in
yeah,
play and earn, we want to
you're,
emphasize gamification. People enjoy actually playing the game for it to be
yeah,
an actual game and not just the economic factor in it.
yeah. It's like you want people to stick to the game. It's like you want
Yeah,
to have whoever's playing, you want them playing in a bull market, a bear market. You want them playing with their
of
friends,
course.
their family. You
You want
want
them
them
to
playing.
enjoy it.
Exactly. You want them playing with us for the next 10, 15 years. That's
Absolutely.
what we're aiming for. We're not aiming to be like a one-trick pony. We are here to stay.
Yes.
But yeah, but just a sidestep here. But the word earn, don't you, like, to an extent, do you think that's a damaging part of the whole play to earn and play and earn
Well,
storyline? Shouldn't we be talking about maybe owning or yeah, something along those lines?
true, true. But because of how the space is, and crypto and marketing and everything else goes, play to earn and play and earn, they're the terms that are forced on pretty much everyone. But yeah, I mean, obviously ownership. We do have a lot of, and we're actually coming out with a lot of educational material on to show people that who may otherwise just play and cash out, is to educate them and have them stay in the ecosystem, learn about the ecosystem, learn about the concept and the importance of ownership, and actually, create something for themselves within the ecosystem. So, like, obviously, the educational aspect of it is going to be huge.
Yeah. So you dropped some info about lava before. Can you describe the VulcanVerse economy? Covering Pyre, covering
Yeah.
lava, your land NFTs, the Vulcanite NFTs, and other potential things I might be forgetting right now.
Right. So essentially, like, we've got PYR as our main token. PYR is used in our marketplaces. It's used on our Vulcan Dex, which is soon to be rebranded to Elysium Swap once we go live on Elysium. On Vulcan Dex, you can stake in liquidity pairs for farming NFTs from not just Vulcan forged projects, but also down the line it will be for third-party projects as well. So it's a big it's a very interesting concept, and it's an interesting way of rewarding. Instead of having hyperinflationary APYs, you're rewarding assets that are used in game, have value, and it also gives people exposure to other projects within our ecosystem. Obviously, it's also used in land staking. We have a very lucrative land staking program. So players that want to level up their plots of land, they have to stake PYR to level them up, and then there's like a large period in between levels as new assets are developed. So basically, as we get to like level 3 assets for releasing, we open up level 3 land staking, and that pretty much covers PYR. There's a lot more to PYR, but for the basics of our economy, that covers it. Lava is the token that we came up with to have as a secondary play and earn token. You can earn it through holding PYR inside MyForge. You can earn it also through gameplay. So pretty much every activity in any of our games. In fact, I believe this week we have 2 more games that are coming out with lava as well. So any activity that's earning you XP is also earning you a cut of lava. In different games, there's a different lava to XP ratio, and the players will be receiving that lava along with their XP. And most importantly, lava is going to be used as the gas token on Elysium once our Elysium blockchain is launched. Yep. So that covers lava. Now, NFTs, we have a lot of them. So you've got your basic land plots. That is what VulcanVerse is. They grant the owners access to VulcanVerse. It's a very lucrative staking program with it. And also for non-owners, because through the Sedalian program, which is basically our version of scholarships, players can rent plots of land from owners based on an earning share. So, it's a lucrative business for plot owners, but also gives access to those that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford a plot of land. And then obviously we've got Vulcanites. Vulcanites are used across many of the Vulcan Forge games. Inside VulcanVerse, they're the ones that allow users to fight, forage. We've got a new revamped espionage element to them as well. And you can also defend your plots and not allow people to forage on your plots. Obviously, the better the Vulcanite, the higher the chances of finding, more valuable assets in game and winning battles, etc., etc. Then we've got the NFT gods. They add a lot of benefits to gameplay and to earning potential. So it's like they've got buffs, speed boosts, XP buffs, you name it. And also for the game itself, they allow certain users access to visual assets, like exclusive visual assets that you can only place on your plot of land if you own that specific god. And other than that, it just boils down to NFT clothing, NFT building assets that are, much different from the standard in-game ones. And also fishing rods, which, the entire community is when on the concept of fishing, because fishing is going to be a big part of VulcanVerse. And yeah.
Awesome. So that's a whole lot of angles to participate in VulcanVerse as a landowner, as a player, as a staker, a liquidity provider, anything in between. You already name dropped Elysium. I want to get back to that a little bit later on. One of the things you also mentioned are land NFTs, and in a metaverse, it's very common for players to own a piece of land and to be able to do something with it. But in VulcanVerse, you can do quite a lot with your land. Like landowners can shape and build their own land, and how does that fit? Yeah. How does all that activity that you do on that land fit into the overall lore and the setting of the VulcanVerse game world?
Well, the kind of concept behind it is that Vulcan wanted help, rebuilding his world. So, to do that, we let users, we just let them and their creativity, they're just let loose on their plots of land. And, to be honest, they just come up with the most spectacular creations. We've got some incredible builders within the community. And by doing this, they're filling up what, at one point when the game started was a completely empty world. Hang on a second. If you want to, I will showcase a little something here. Where are we? I need to expand on this. Here we go. So, the entire world itself, when it began, was empty. There was just landmarks spread around Vulcan or VulcanVerse. And users slowly began terramorphing. And here you have one of the elements of the latest visual update. And users just began creating and placing their buildings, terramorphing creatures out of the ground. And they have come up with just some spectacular creations. Like I'd have to shout out to people like Danger Mouse, Scots, Acadian. It's a Wild Vulcanite as well. We have some incredible creators within the community, and not only do they terramorph and build, but they also create quests for the community at the same time. Sorry, I will move that out of the way. They create quests for the community, and this is a very engaging thing. It's like this isn't even us having implemented the actual quest creator tools yet. These are just community-made quests that they come out with, and they'll post them in Discord. They'll create challenges, and
Okay.
it's a ton of fun because again, we haven't even begun yet. Like we're still so early in the development of this. Yet we have people are just going all out with the few tools that they have.
Like, and from a game design perspective, like again, like to reference World of Warcraft, like when you play WoW, everything has been designed by Blizzard, so that no, Blizzard knows exactly where what is placed and how their what their world looks like. Now, and maybe I'm thinking in the wrong way here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but how will questing, or how do you think questing will work? Now, the moment people can replace the castle they built at any given time. So let's say the quest is find the treasure chest in the castle, but the player who owns that castle might as well remove it. So like, how does that work? User generated content and overall questing in a game world.
Well, we have our own in-house quests. It's like created. We have some incredibly talented authors behind this, and so we have our own official quest lines.
Okay.
But when it comes to community-created content, I mean, they're not going to be creating a quest. Like the quests that they're doing right now are more, let's say, they're temporary quests. So it's something that, okay, at 5 p.m. today, we're going to have a race from here to there, climb a wall that somebody has made, or go through a maze. Basically, it's like you have people that create like parkour, essentially tracks, and you've got whoever gets to the end first.
Yeah.
But it's just let's say they're just using the tools that they have right now to make some very fun content, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys as VulcanVerse will create the overall quest line, and the community creates, let's call it, the side quests, the event quests.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun. That looks like a cool way to.
I mean, we will be providing them with with more tools down the line to actually create in a much more professional manner certain quest lines.
It's in our roadmap for new features, randomized quests, and we're going to be expanding a lot on that.
Is that the roadmap for this year or next year?
Well, actually, for the next couple of months.
Okay, that's some alpha right there.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome, but that's like I love the idea. Like, I'm a big fan of community content, and I like the way you guys describe how community content will fit in the overall world of VulcanVerse.
Well, we have an amazing community, and we're really. It's a goal of ours to fulfill a lot of things that they want to do, and just they've been very supportive throughout this whole effort. So our aim is to please them and to get them as involved as possible.
Awesome. I also see some of them in the chat making references to the touch of God and praising Vulcan, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Let me see. So owning land, land is like, for the average player, land is quite pricey, and in crypto, many people talk about money. Many people are about expensive NFTs, 10x on their tokens. But what if you're an average Joe who just wants to play a game? How can you get started with VulcanVerse?
Well, sorry, one second. So you mean like how can a player, without having to go through the deep, opening up their wallets in a major way?
Yes.
Well, we put a big focus because again, when we had the land sale, if anything, we are one of the most affordable games to get into originally. Now, obviously, the open market dictates, and that is out of our hands. But to kind of mitigate that and to be able to allow access to as many players as possible, we created our own scholarship program, which is on it's a very secure marketplace where owners can list their plots of land. They can list Vulcanites as well, and they can offer them up for rent in exchange for like an earning share from gameplay earned lava. So we also had a lot of users that owned a significant amount of land, and a lot of them banded together. And now we have quite some spectacular guilds out there as well, that are from just community members that they saw an opportunity here as well. So they provide a lot of support, not just to the ecosystem, but in bringing in other players. They're constantly driven to get more and more players into the ecosystem. And yes, the actual barrier to entry into the game is very low. And once you're in the game, the potential for being able to make something out of it and work your way up that ladder, we're always saying from the beginning, like the 0 to hero kind of path, it's totally possible. Not just in VulcanVerse, but in the other games as well, through tournaments and through everything else that we do. So yeah, like we are all about having as few barriers as possible when it comes to having players come in. Obviously, there is the cost element, but those that can will, those that can't have an option.
Yeah, exactly. And things will change over time as well. I mean, like the scholarship program is something that happened in the past year, and what might happen in the years to come. Like I think the entire play and earn, or play to own, or whatever we go to call it, ecosystem is so young. We're talking about maximum of 1.5 million gamers out there that are interacting with NFTs and with NFT powered games.
Yeah,
I think like in a couple of years we're talking in completely different numbers. So you already said like Vulcan Forge ecosystem and other games. Which aspects of VulcanVerse? Let's say now you're playing VulcanVerse, you're becoming you earn some lava. You might find a seed from fishing. What aspects of VulcanVerse can players bring into the other games of the Vulcan Forge ecosystem, or maybe the other way around? Which aspects from those other games can you bring into VulcanVerse?
Well, for the most part, Vulcanites are the ones that are used across pretty much all of the games that we have. So in Berserk, for example, they act as your champion, your hero. In Forge Arena, the more if you have a lot of Vulcanites, then it's more to your benefit playing Forge Arena, utilizing your Vulcanites. In Tower Defense, they're integrated as well. So we try to get them into as many of our different games as possible, wherever they will fit in. And also there's certain items that have cross-game functionality as well. Like you've got weapons, you've got shields, you've got armors that in different games that we have, they have a different functionality. So kind of like as I said before, even our assets don't want to be a one-trick pony. Like we want to get them. We want to get them places. We want to have that utility and the value that brings to them. So it's you don't want someone just to own one asset that they can only use there. I mean, even gods, or they've got their effects elsewhere. So it's important to add utility, but you add utility where it makes sense to add utility. It's not just adding utility for the sake of adding utility, because that's just a meme in the NFT space. Like this is literally, you are playing with these characters elsewhere. You're actually playing with them. It's not it's
and I just of course that you can earn lava, I think, in every game, right?
Very soon, yes. I think there's only a couple that are still pending the lava integration, but as I said, this week, in fact, bear with me. Let me just check something. Where are we? Yes. So currently we've got the integration of Lava into Forge Arena and integration of Lava into Vulcan Runner underway. So, those are two very good games to be earning Lava from. Vulcan Runner is, it's the kind of game that you can just get lost for hours, crashing into boxes and getting frustrated with yourself.
Sounds sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, at least that's how I play it. Yeah.
Okay. It would be interesting to see what will happen, right? So maybe so is there a pool of Lava per game per week, or how do we see that? Like, it will be possible for players at some point to be like, okay, today, like, Vulcan Runner looks very juicy because not many players are jumping into it right now. So maybe I will play Vulcan Runner today, and I will go for Forged Arena tomorrow.
For example, give me a second here, because we're just redoing a couple of things. So, for example, you've got an hourly cap inside VulcanVerse.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 1,000 Lava, which is split between the XP that is gained in that hour between all those players that interacted within that hour. So it's an hourly pool, so that it's more of a kind of fair distribution globally, because obviously you've got the players all over the world. So we try to keep it as spread as possible. Berserk itself also has its own daily pool, like a 24,000 Lava per day pool. Different leagues within Berserk have different earning opportunities. Obviously, if you own NFTs in Berserk, you can enter different leagues. Higher leagues have higher earning potentials, and other games is more based on an XP ratio per player. So again, we're still working out. It's still, with a lot of the games where it's just being integrated, we are still experimenting to see the best ratios, the most sustainable ones. We're also about to integrate the frenzy passes, which is to earn Lava, or to it's going to change a lot of the Lava earning mechanisms. But owning the frenzy pass means that you're going to be able to have either uncapped earnings in certain areas, participate in tournaments, daily pools. There's a lot of options that are opened up with the frenzy pass. So that's a little something that's coming as well.
Yeah, cool. Like, it's super interesting, to play around with those mechanisms. I reckon, like, it's you learn a lot about your community's player behavior that way. Mm-hmm. It's super interesting. So earlier, you name dropped Elysium already. You've been using VeChain, like that's how you started. You added Polygon, but now Elysium is coming. Can you elaborate a bit on the history of the blockchains you've used, and why you're moving towards Elysium, and what that will mean to the entire Vulcan ecosystem?
Well, we originally, like, when we started out the first project that then evolved into Vulcan Forged, it was launched on VeChain. It was just a concept for the NFT minting engine that we had. So we were already kind of established within a community on VeChain by the time everything else started to get bigger. So all our NFTs had been minted already on VeChain, but we expanded out to Polygon when we went to launch our token. Much wider community, much more exposure, a lot of support that we received as well from the Polygon team. They're a fantastic team, and yeah, it's just like we wanted to improve accessibility. So when we were thinking about how to handle our NFTs, because the current setup requires our MyForge accounts, because they have cross-chain wallets inside. Yeah. That's not really user-friendly at the end of the day. So, to improve accessibility, rather than migrate to an existing chain, the crazy idea of creating our own EVM-compatible blockchain was kind of born. And that, and it's being built with NFT gaming in mind. So it is tailored towards NFT gaming. And so we've got various protocols in place on Elysium, which will, massively aim to improve a user's overall experience, but not just a user's experience, also how projects interact with their users as well, because like they can provide their own users with a much smoother experience. So you've got protocols like the Magma protocol, which auto converts any ELS token that is spent on the marketplace. Like ELS would be the standard for the tokens launching on Elysium. So it would auto convert ELS tokens to PYR via Elysium swap on every marketplace transaction. So this is like an added value to the chain and PYR. You've got a really interesting protocol called Gift, which is fee delegation, which means that projects and ourselves can sponsor transactions for users. So your average user won't have to worry about having enough for a gas fee, or even basically even having to know anything about crypto when they get started. Because once you're into something and once you've been sucked into the ecosystem, then you're going to be gradually exposed to the information, and but it's not something that you have to be bombarded with from day one. Like you can get involved, you can start playing, you can start earning, you've got your accounts, everything's fine, but you don't have to go diving deep into the crypto aspect of it. That's something that you can gradually ease your way into with this. And Surge protocol, which means that you're actually able to use any ELS token as gas. It just converts that amount into lava anyway. But also it saves people, if you've ever interacted, for example, on Polygon, and you've accidentally swapped all your Matic into another token, and now all of a sudden you're stuck because you can't send anything anywhere. So the Surge protocol actually aims to mitigate that as well. It means that you can send anything anywhere, and the rest is handled back end.
That sounds very, very interesting. Like the issue with many blockchain games is that you need to have a MetaMask, then you need to maybe add the right network to it. You need to make sure that you have the native token of that particular network. You need to pay gas fees on transactions. It sounds native to us and probably to many of our viewers right now, but try to explain to your friends or to your parents how the system works, and it's not simply logging in, and it needs to become simply logging in. Mm-hmm. So I think you guys are doing a great job on that. And,
yeah, I mean, it's like our biggest focus is on allowing someone to create an account and pretty much instantly get into a game. Obviously, these things take time. You have to plan them out. There's constant brainstorming sessions between all the development teams. But eventually, we will get there where the whole process is no different than creating an account in a traditional gaming platform. That is our goal, is to make this no more complicated than having a Steam account or a Riot account. It's like just simplify everything.
Yeah,
as much as possible.
And so Elysium will be for transactions. Will you also put like actual gameplay mechanics on the chain, like game rules on the blockchain, or is it how should I see the role of Elysium against the different gaming projects?
Well, all of our NFTs will be migrated. So like the metadata that's in your NFT that dictates what that NFT is and everything else, all of those will be moving from VeChain and over to Elysium. Our tokens will obviously be bridged as well. I mean, they're going to be on all the chains that they exist on currently. But yeah, pretty much any on-chain element of any game that we have will be running on Elysium.
Okay, and so at DappRadar, we often talk about a multi-chain future where different ecosystems have their own blockchain. Everything is interoperable. How do you guys look at the future of blockchain and the role that Elysium will play in the widest spectrum?
Well, I mean, back when you had the first kind of additional layer ones being launched, and there was a lack of bridging, there weren't that many services available. Like nowadays, there's so many new products coming out and services coming out that the actual lines between chains are just getting more and more blurred. I mean, there's a lot of services out there that can help you seamlessly bridge your assets and communicate with other chains in a very painless manner. So it's like we're aiming to provide the best possible ecosystem based on Elysium, and to have it be as accessible as possible for projects that are even on other chains. We've got a lot of there's a lot underway to help improve the whole bridging experience, and now bridging is a huge element. Like, that's one of the things that's taking the most time when it comes to the Elysium development. Obviously security, auditing, you name it, it's back and forth constantly because it is super important, especially about how you go about it. But yeah, we want to be as accessible as we can for other chains and ecosystems. We want to grow in the blockchain gaming space. We're not here to grow against anyone. We want to grow together with projects. We want to, the more other projects grow and the more everyone kind of grows together, the more beneficial it is for the space. And as far as how will this develop in the years to come? Well, who knows? So far it's been a short and incredibly intense ride to where we are, and we're just as excited as we were on the first day to kind of see what will become of this space. The blockchain gaming space exploded in the past year, and we did not expect that. We were just doing our thing, and then everyone got caught up in this wave of gaming. So who knows where the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years is going to take us? We shall see.
Exactly. Well, hopefully it will be a world filled with Minotaurs and Vulcanites. That being said, you do have something coming up pretty soon for VulcanVerse that's rather exciting, and I think not only our community but also your community will be super excited about this. This is some true alpha coming up. Yeah, who can I give the word to? Because I'm super curious.
Robert, we have a lot of things coming up, and as we're constantly striving to get better and more ahead of the game, and just setting our future plans for VulcanVerse, which is our flagship game. VulcanVerse is currently going through a slow but steady transformation, and we're actually aiming towards what our vision of it is. The truth is that MMORPG are two very appealing terms, and players were excited about this ever since like day one of the whole metaverse, let's say, wave. So slowly but surely, our team is expanding here in Greece. We're very happy with our team; they're very talented, and finally we're able to make things more solid as we have the appropriate people dedicated to each of the tasks that need to make this game even more amazing than what it is right now. So gameplay wise, we have a lot of changes that are coming up. We're proud to announce that the first elements that complement the main game loop have been designed and are already within production and have a pipeline. So, the roadmap is set right now. We have a lot of new features coming up, such as the lava bank, the new foraging system that will open treasure chests and from foraging, fishing, alchemy system, vulcanite summoning are some of the things and the features that our player base will be experiencing next and within the next few months, not next 2 years. Along with achievements to top all this off. We're very excited about all this. We really, really are very passionate about our game. These are like elements that gamify the whole VulcanVerse ecosystem and, actually bring our worlds to life, which they actually are. We are trying to find ways that will surprise and satisfy our community with the tools we're providing, referring to the new features and everything. And we're just trying to find new ways to make it more interesting and to make the experience even more amazing and innovative, and to create like unpredictable circumstances for for our player base. So other than that, there are a lot of little things like such as reworking on our battle system, or establishing and implementing our new world Troy, which is actually part of the VulcanVerse ecosystem. It's an expansion of our world. And, like a lot of MMOs have done in the past, like World of Warcraft and other games, with the difference that it will actually be free to visit and to farm there. So the new features that will be implemented, not only the ones that, I previously mentioned, but blacksmiths, professions, a lot of things to, to make guilds more active. They'll play a massive role in all of this. And a lot of more exciting functionalities that will be placed in the original Troy map as an expansion of VulcanVerse. So, there are a lot of exciting things like arenas that will be implemented where actually players will be able to engage in physical contact between them, the avatars, instead of the Vulcanites. So, we have a lot of nice things coming up and a lot of surprises for our community and for the people that will be joining our community.
That sounds like an awesome, lot of gameplay features.
Lots of gameplay features. This is what we're actually aiming for, because we have the whole economy set, and we want to make it more fun for our player base.
I mean, there's one of the biggest, I'd say, definitely one of the biggest updates that the community would be looking forward to is finally the Vulcanite battle system rework.
Exactly.
So it's not just going to be auto battle, stat comparing kind of a gameplay.
More player driven. It will be
absolutely. So this will actually allow us to intertwine it with other upcoming features like PvP tournaments.
Like where builds will also be playing a bigger role in all of this, and we'll
player
make it more
versus
competitive, more fun.
And you've got player versus environment dungeons. So yeah, it's like all of these new features end up leading to a whole array of expanded features added onto them after. It's just rebuilding the base of it all so that it is just this almost infinitely scalable game. Oh yes.
But that's amazing.
So we're trying to emphasize unique gameplay elements and just take this to another level.
And it's so cool to see this evolvement of VulcanVerse. Like you guys adding reworking PvP, but having fishing, alchemy, summoning, blacksmith, other professions, guild activities, all the kind of stuff. Like I hate to sound like an old man again, but it brings back those World of Warcraft memories. Like that's.
I wasn't born then, so I don't know.
So okay, and that's, okay. Of course, Christina. Yeah. you are 14.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
That's what she tells everyone.
That's what I tell everybody. Yes. So yeah.
But that really, it sounds amazing. It sounds like your community needs to get ready for a whole lot of activity inside the VulcanVerse.
Oh yeah.
We have really amazing plans for the future. We're really excited about everything, and we're going to amaze the world with VulcanVerse.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let me see if there's any questions in the YouTube chat. I don't see I see comments from Danger Mouse.
You have to ignore the comments that are coming from that Jamie Thompson. He's a dodgy character. Is that Jamie Thompson?
Yeah, I will.
Yes. You don't want to hear anything he has to say.
I will block him.
Aside from being our CEO and everything, just
as no questions are popping in.
Of course, because we answered all of them.
Absolutely,
yeah. Just pure love for the VulcanForge team from Ryan Miller.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
I want to thank you guys, and that brings us to the end of our AMA. Everybody watching live or checking the recording afterwards, please make sure you go to DappRadar.com/DappDays and join the giveaway to win those Pyre prizes. The answer of the question has already been dropped in this AMA. If you can't find it for whatever reason, just go to the VulcanVerse website. You will be able to find it there as well. Jason and Christina, I want to thank you very much for this awesome chat. Thank you for all the alpha you've dropped. Yeah, and all the best of luck with the development.
It was really lovely being here.
Thank you, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great listen to you both from Europe. So have a great evening.
Thank you.
And talk to you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.